Sunday, it's 7 o'clock in my neck of the wood, and it's time to connect. All right, so I'm absolutely excited to be here. Let me mute this music a bit. All right, absolutely excited to be here, and it's a great day and a great time to be here. So much happening today. It's yes, 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 and everybody, who's been on to me about today's World Cup final. What's going on? Yep, don't worry, we're ready episode. So it's the second of July, the thing about productivity. I did the opening last, and I got a lot of feedback on how that, and we're taking it not further. But before we get into the conversation today, I've got a bit of announcements. Drum roll, drum roll. So let me check the calendar real quick, right? I'm going to check the calendar real quick. On the 9th of August, all right, and I'm checking the calendar quickly. On the 9th of August, 2026, the Connect will be 6 years old. Right. The Connect will be 6 years old on the 9th of August 2026. We started on the 9th of August 2020. Right. So we're gonna have an anniversary episode on the 8th of August. It promises to be amazing. 6 years, 6 years of doing this, 6 years of Sunday in, Sunday out, touching on topical issues, discussing the things that matter, getting well over 302 guests have come through this virtual studio in the past 6 years. Over 302 guests, right? About 304 or so have come through the studio in the past 6 years. It's been an amazing journey. The highs, the lows, the days of technical issues, and all of that and everything. It's simply been an amazing journey. And I've got a story to tell. So on the 8th of August, you're going to be seeing the flyers, you're going to be hearing all the announcements as regards that. Everybody on the exchange community, you're going to be getting all the updates and the letters in your inbox. Uh, for those of you on the platform, you're also going to be getting your emails and letters from my desk, all right, in your inbox. So all that will come in the days to come. Right. So we started the thing about productivity last week, and okay, hold on. I got a couple of comments here. Right. The thing about so thank you to everyone who's Productivity Academy. So the blue streets of Facebook, those on the red streets of YouTube. It's great to have you here. Share the link right now. Get your people to join in. We'll have a decent time before the World Cup finals. And I'm really not asking you who's going to win. It for me really doesn't matter. I just want to have a good. But before a good game, I want to have a great conversation. All right. And I'm going to be bringing in my guests into the studio really, 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 really quick. Right. Really, really quick. Um, so, part two, three-part series. Monday, we're going to be having to Tammy Odejde, who is a pastor and a clarity coach, is the resident pastor of House on the Rock, London. He will be joining us. But today, I have an amazing guest, and I get excited whenever I have to do with this guest. Not only is she stunningly intelligent, I'm sure you were waiting to hear stunningly beautiful, right? So you will see for yourself. So you have everything: brains, looks, all of that. Much more than that, she's the epitome of productivity for as long as I have known her. She represents productivity in ways that is literally amazing to understand, to define, and she's going to be sharing a bit of her with us today. And so now I'm thinking, do I bring her in and then read, or do I read that profile while I bring her in? Okay, so you know what? I'm going to bring her in, and then you're going to be looking at her face whilst I'm reading her profile, right? Okay, so all right, so guys, whilst we're waiting for a lot of folks to join in, I'm going to bring in my guest right now. I want to get the conversation on the way. We have limited time today and want to make the most of it. So, are you ready? If you're ready, yeah, I am, and I'm bringing my guest in, joining me from some really faraway Trump land. Ladies and gentlemen, the phenomenal Nancy Ogwe. All right, so I'm bringing Nancy into the studio right now. Nancy, you with me? Is she in the studio? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Good
not yet.
evening. Hey, good evening. Yes,
So,
I am.
so
I
we
can
have a
see
button
you.
that is hanging right now. You guys just hold on. All right, just hold on. Nancy's coming in right now. Once she comes in, we're going full blast. All right, so I'm bringing Nancy in right now, and please tell me that she's in. How am I not seeing that on my screen? Okay, so Nancy, don't worry. Whatever is um, got a message. I'm trying to. Okay, Nancy, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
I'm wondering why I can't. Nancy, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
I'm trying to.
I can hear you
All
loud and
right,
clear.
great. I'm wondering how come I can't see you on my screen yet. Can you see me on your screen? Can you see me on
Yes, I
your
can see you.
screen?
I can see you and I can hear you.
Yeah, but I know you can hear me, but you can see me as well.
Yes, very well.
Okay, there you are. There you are. I had a bit of delay on my end. I had a bit of delay on my end, and there you are. Nancy, it's great to have you here. But before we get into it, I want to spend some time going through your profile. All right, I want to spend some time going through your profile. So our guest for today is, I like to give people tags and titles. The phenomenal Nancy.
Thank
Between
you.
she and I call her Nancy Drew. All right. And Nancy is a marketing strategist, a speaker. We'll come to speaker part very a speaker and digital marketing consultant who helps businesses, institutions, and professionals build scalable marketing systems via strategy, content, automation, and artificial intelligence. All right. She holds a master's degree in digital marketing analytics and combines strategic insight with data driven execution to design end-to-end marketing systems that increase visibility, one, generate qualified leads, two, and accelerate revenue growth. Yeah, because it must always end at the revenue growth part. Yeah. She's led digital marketing and go-to marketing initiatives for startups, nonprofits, edtech platforms, and founder-led brands, delivering measurable outcomes, including growing organic reach from 400. Guys, wait, hold on, from 400 to 19,800. And it was because she was trying to be humble. It should have been 20,000, but she was just being humble, right? From 400 to 19,800 impressions in 90 days, increasing email open rates from 10% to 62% across 10,000 plus subscriber base, managing a Pan-African learning community of over 3,000 learners across 39 countries with a 95% completion rate. 95% completion rate. You can see stuff I said about humility. She just didn't want to do it. She really just didn't want to do it. All right. Nancy specializes in marketing strategy, content systems, launch marketing, social media strategy, email marketing, CRM implementation, automation workflows, and AI powered marketing operations. She's the founder of the all time famous business of social media marketing training, where she has equipped, I mean, Nancy does numbers, right? Where she has equipped more than 1,000 entrepreneurs, business owners, and digital marketing professionals with practical job ready skills for the digital economy. So beyond business, right? Just in case you think, oh, she's just all about numbers. She's about impact at the end of the day. Because beyond business, she founded the Straight Aid Africa Foundation, and it's been around for quite a while now. Education, youth employment, poverty alleviation, and digital inclusion initiatives have impacted over, again, numbers, 12,000 underserved individuals across more than 160 communities in Nigeria advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, particularly SDG 4 and SDG 8. Interesting. She
Eight.
is an absolutely, I said I was going to talk about the speaking part, right? She's an absolutely sought after speaker. And she has this gift of simplifying complex marketing and technology concepts into practical, actionable insights. She has spoken at the platform Nigeria, spoken across universities, business conferences, entrepreneurship programs, and leadership fora on topics including AI for business growth, marketing strategy, content systems, launch marketing, social media, and the future of work. Remember, we had a series on the future of work earlier this year. All right, her mission is very simple: building marketing systems that help scale whilst creating sustainable economic opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, hands together for my guest, joining us from the US, NANCY OGBUE. And by the way, Nancy was I was just talking about on August the 9th, the Connect will be 6 years old. Nancy was on the second episode. Her debut on the Connect was on the second episode of the Connect. That was sometime towards the end of August, mid-August or
August.
so, 2020. Yep.
Yes.
And then she's featured on the Connect a number of other times. It's been amazing just having her, and I'm absolutely delighted to have her back here in the studio. It's pretty hard to pin her down, right? But we're really glad to have her here. Nancy, it's great to have you here. How you doing?
I'm well, and thank you for having me again. 6 years is such a long time. My goodness. Well done, sir.
Mm, 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 mm. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So there is a question that I usually ask. I'm sure it's a question you've answered times on this fireside. I'm going to ask you again. First question, we're starting off. What are you thankful for?
Today, I am very thankful for my eyes. For my eyes.
Hmm.
I came across this piece of content, a doctor somewhere in Africa that was doing free surgeries for old people with glaucoma and other eye related diseases. And I watched him remove the plaster and stuff from the eyes of one of the women, and she was weeping. It took her time to even see it, to recognize color. And she's screaming, "Oh, this has color. This is red." And I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
And she hasn't seen like
Wow.
that in over 10 years. So
Wow.
I am very grateful for my sight.
The things we take for granted,
Yes.
I can imagine. I've never got that response before because I mean, I can just these like seeing colors for the first time, seeing light for the first time, just looking around you and being able to appreciate everything around you visually. It must be something really massive, and that is indeed something worth being thankful for. All right, so let's get into our conversation. Nancy, are you
Ready, ready, ready. Let's go.
all right? So, right, all about productivity, right? And I did a thing trying to bring activity last week, and to go over that again. I just want to jump, straight into it with you. So let's start from right. You are many things in one. Your profile speaks, right? Your profile speaks, and you do many expressions of what you're doing. So let's start from here, right? So tie in, if you talk of productivity, the first thing that comes to certain class of people is how much activity they're involved in, how busy they get, and they're looking at busyness, they're looking at multitasking. And as a follow-up question, do you believe in multitasking? But I will come to that. You will answer that, and but in terms of all this activity, right? With a follow-up question of do you believe in multitasking? What does productivity really mean to you from where you are? And
Productivity is achieving clear, trackable result within a specific time. achieving clear, practical, and trackable results within a specific time. For you to say something is productive or someone is productive, it means you're measuring the outputs based on the number of investment of time and efforts. But I think where people miss this a lot is you find yourself always busy. So you can measure the time
Mm.
spent. But if we go back to what you spent the time doing, it leaves no track record because we cannot account for how you spent that time. So productivity for me is not
Okay.
just, oh, I'm busy, 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 my calendar is loaded. No. Productivity must leave a track record. We must be able to go back and look and see what you were doing at the time you said you were productive and the effect of the result you have.
Mm.
Until we can do that, you were not productive. You were just busy. Simple.
And I like the way that you put it, right? I like the way you put it. But then again, there's still a follow up question of, do you believe in multitasking? And then also, whilst you're answering, what's the most common thing? I mean, you interacted with a lot of people and stuff. What's that thing about productivity that a lot of people get wrong?
Do I believe in multitasking? It's, I don't want to say an outright yes, because I multitask a lot. But I'll give you an example when I say yes. I work, I build a lot of automations. I work with a lot of businesses. So I can be building a back end system for a business. And because it's taking time, it's going to take like 2 hours for what I'm building to propagate. I jump on something else. I jump on a meeting. I'm reviewing some documents. I have something else I'm doing. I'm multitasking. But again, we go back to
Mm.
when 2 hour passes. Okay, this is around a 2 hour mark. When the 2 hour is done, 2 hours is done. If we come back to what I was multitasking around, did I achieve my set results? Because this idea of multitasking has set men and women alike, because there's an argument that, oh, women can multitask, men cannot, has set men and women alike on a pathway where they never achieve mastery. So it's like a mice eating bread. It doesn't eat one
Mm.
slice. It eats the first slice, eats the fourth one, eats the sixth one, eats the 12th one. You have your mouth touching different things, but you never actually
Mm.
ate to your satisfaction. You never swallowed everything. So multitasking, is it good? Is it recommended? Only when you've gained mastery of self and mastery of skill should you be multitasking. If you have not,
So, so,
please
so,
put
you-
yourself. Yes, go on.
so let me interject. So you're saying, first of all, you have to have mastery of self, mastery of skill, now to be
Yes,
able to multitask.
yes,
So if I go by the analogy that you gave, right? You have, let's say you have a 2 hour, and that thing is undergoing a process. I'm just giving an example now. That thing is undergoing a process, and then whilst that one is going through a process, and then you do this to a point where something else has dependence on it, and then you go back to that one to get it complete. Yes, I get that. But what you're saying now with the example of the mice and poor mice is that, look, you're trying to do three things at the same time, trying to follow through on the processes of three things at the same time. And unless you have, according to what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, unless you have a certain level of mastery and you are able to rightly appropriate the skills that you have, again, a certain level of mastering skills, it will be counterproductive. You will be
yes.
busy, will not be productive.
Nothing will come out of it. No result. Nothing.
And,
Absolutely nothing.
and that's a thing. And that's a thing. And let me pivot a bit. You know, sometimes you have a working organizations, public sector or in the private sector, and the person that has superintendent responsibilities, your supervisor, your line manager, your director, your HOD, or whatever, just wants to see activity. So, do we even in some cases create an enabling environment for proper productivity? Do you say?
I would say some organizations are beginning to adopt that. And that is
Hmm,
why every organization without a KPI is a dangerous place to work. If you are
hmm,
joining, whether it's a small business, a big business, and there are not stipulated key performance indicators within your job roles and responsibilities, if you don't have KPIs, you're in trouble, because the language of your productivity and the results you've brought into the association or the organization or the business will be spoken by someone who does not really understand the work you do day to day.
hmm,
Because your
hmm,
supervisor may necessarily not be doing what you do. But if there are
hmm.
KPIs that they understand clearly, they can go back and say, these were the KPIs for the month. Did Nancy hit these KPIs? Yes, then she did her job. So if we
Right.
don't have key performance indicators in the corporate and business environment, we don't have language and clear understanding to say that someone we employed has not done their job. The job is not
Hmm,
the one in your head. The job is what we wrote in the JD and what the KPI demands from the job. So that's
hmm.
it. In
All
terms
right.
of corporate and
So
business, yes.
yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense, right? Now I want to shift the conversation a bit, right? Now I want you to talk to me about systems and productivity. And why am I bringing this up, right? Because obviously I know you. Out your work with brands, you work with professionals across continents now, and I mean Nancy across continents. Wow. All right, and all of this, right? And so, in your experience, what would you say, still speaking from the standing points of the systems and productivity, what would you say then separates um, people who are consistently productive? All right, because those results must be consistent, right? People who are consistently productive, for those that are simply hardworking. So now I want you to speak to systems and productivity.
Three of them. Like, as I just asking this question,
Mm,
I'm replaying like four of my clients,
mm,
different hierarchy of clients, right? The first thing are SOPs, standard operating procedures. The
right.
second are templates. The
Mm,
third are in-house systems. It will shock you to
okay.
know, sir, that some businesses do not have an inventory system. It will shock you to know that there are businesses doing 10 million naira per month in sales, and they are still writing with paper and pen. Received 200 crates of egg, sold. It is, they bring me into some businesses as a marketing strategist, and I'm like, how have you people survived for 10 years in business? Because the nonsense here is a lot. So the founder, the CEO, is stressed out, is complaining about every hire. But when I sit with him or her, I am looking at a man or a woman who has built his or her identity around a business to the point that templating it and structuring it makes them feel so irrelevant. So I hear
Mm,
complaints about a business not working. My question always is, did you let go? Did you let go of that business so it can work? What would letting go look like? Somebody is the one in charge of your communications online. Maybe you're using WhatsApp, you're using Instagram, you're using whatever platform you're using, right? Or even on your website. People are making sales inquiries and they can
mm,
tell. when it is the CEO speaking and when it is not, you have a problem. You have a structure problem. There's an SOP problem there. I remember in 2016, I was sitting in a structure class by Tara Feladurotoye, and she said, which is where this journey started for me. She said that when she
Yeah.
training people, the staff at Tara, it was written, like part of the SOP is that when a customer walks in through the door, with a
This
smile
is what.
on your face,
Yeah.
it is written, the smile on your face is written in the SOP. You will say, "Hello, ma'am or sir, welcome to House of Tara. How can we serve you today?" It was
Mm,
documented.
mm.
So if you take that template online, people cannot tell. I know it's never going to be Tara in the DMs, of course, but at that early stage, because it was so
I mean,
templated,
you couldn't tell a system because it was a system.
and it
It
was
was a
working.
system. It wasn't individualistic. There was no superhero.
Yes.
There was no laggard. Everybody was keyed into a system.
Don't bring your
Amazing.
novel
Amazing.
ideas. People
Go
are
ahead.
coming from different backgrounds, and if you're not careful, and is another thing, some people do things in your business with the goodness of their heart because from where they are
True.
coming, this is the level of knowledge that they have. So
Absolutely.
you have to teach them what good and great looks like in your business. But if you don't have a template for
Say
sure,
that again. Say that again. You have to teach them what good and great
good and
looks
great
like.
looks like for your business. If you don't have
Mm,
that, you're
mm.
just running on vibes. It's
You know,
tomorrow
because
you start.
you just reminded me of something, right? I was having a session with a corporate client, and the first question, they were having a retreat, and I walked in the room, and they were reviewing the year that had gone past. I think this was in the first quarter of this year, and they were reviewing 2025. And the first question I asked them was, um, "Did you win?" They said, "Yeah, yeah, we won." And I said, "So, what does winning look like?" My goodness, everything in that room changed because one question, all I did, you know me now, all I did was ask, what does winning look like? And I'm like, no, 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 I don't need the chorus answer. You, admin, what does winning look like? You, what does winning look like? You, what does winning look like? You, what does winning look like? And after they had gone that, I now went through the C suits. What does winning look like? Before I went to the board members, what does winning look like? And there was such a vast disparity between what these guys here thought winning felt like, what they felt they should be applauded for, celebrated for, and what these people were expecting, looking at where we want the organization to go to. There was a whole lot in there, but what you just said just reminded me of that. But please just go on about systems and productivity. I'm really, really eager to hear more.
No, if you can get SOPs, you can put templates and you can put structure because structure is business based. The
Mm-hmm.
structure that is running a HVAC business is not going to run a poultry business, is not going to run a consulting business. So it's business based. You need to be sure that all of that is working. And then lastly, I would say have a tracking system, a tracking and a feedback system. One key thing I've seen that has grown businesses a lot, especially in the Western part of the world, is the review feedback system. The fact that a customer, and it can be a hospital, you can be a hospital, you can be a laundromat, you can be a barber. The fact that a customer can go from the beginning to the end of your funnel, experience your product or service,
Right.
and have an avenue to tell you how they felt genuinely is such a is the best thing you need for business improvement. A client came to me for lead generation not too long ago. And before we started, I asked for some form of document. And I said, "Do you have a feedback form?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Can I see it?" And in that feedback form, 7 people had complained about one staff. They described the staff. 7 people. Some use
Yeah.
the color of the skin. Everybody used the gender. Some put the name. But because guess what? I said, "When was the last time you opened this feedback form?" He said, "Oh, he hardly goes there." So let's say this guy was talking to me in June. People have been giving that feedback since January. He did not know. So more people come into the business and they experience the same person who others have complained about for 6 months. and you want returning clients, there has to be a feedback system. You need to know what is working. You need to know what is not working. And it doesn't always have to be negative. Sometimes it's positive. They tell you, oh, we love this. People love this. Let's create more of that thing. They love it. So, yes. Yes. I, mm-mm. SOPs, templates, systems, your feedback system, that one. Please be sure you have a Google review, Yelp, a feedback form embedded on your
This is
website.
this is this is this is insane. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, right? I say to people all the time, right? Hold on a bit, Nancy. Let me say something real quick before you go on, right? I say to people all the time, and can you hear me, Nancy? Seems like
Yes,
there's a bit of break.
I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes, clearly. Guys, can you hear me? People in the studio,
Can you hear me,
people
Nancy?
watch.
I just
I
just
can hear
confirm
you
that you
loud
can
and
hear me.
clear. I can hear you.
Right. So I got all that you're saying, and it just reminded me of one thing. There's something I've been saying. There's something I've been saying for a while, right? There's something I've been saying for a while, and that is that look, regardless of what you do, technically, you sell shoes, you make shoes, you sell chocolates, you produce chocolates, you're in banking, you give healthcare. It doesn't matter what you do. Your your business. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you clearly. All right. Okay, great, awesome, awesome. So I was saying that regardless of what you do technically and operationally, you're in the business of what you do. Your main business is one thing: to deliver an experience. Now that ties in exactly what you're saying. To deliver an experience. So you deliver the experience by what you do. You deliver the experience by the services you offer. You deliver the experience by the products that you produce and market. But at the end of the day, you deliver an experience. Now, if you understand that you're in business to deliver an experience, then feedback becomes one of your
Yes.
most vital tools that enables you to be able to re-engineer whatever it is that you're doing. So there's a framework, right? You talked about Tara. There's a framework that Fela literally handed over to me, and it's called the Casper Framework. The Casper Framework is an acronym for is CASPER, which is an acronym for clarity, alignment, planning, execution. Sorry, clarity, alignment, strategy, planning, execution, and results. All right. So it starts from the place of clarity, but you must bring every other thing from strategy, planning, execution into alignment with the vision that you have, with the clarity that you have, with the journey that you're going on, and then the outcome of all of that is the results. Now, this is why I'm saying this. The interesting thing about the results is that you must do three things with the results. Number one, you must review the results. And here we are talking about feedback. You must review the results. Number two, you must recognize what the outcomes of your results, right? And then number three, you must reward or reject, right? What you've gotten out of it. Again, the importance of feedback. And it blows my mind that people, I mean, that means you're not listening. You don't understand the market. You're not sensitive to whatever changes. The market is screaming. I mean, somebody said to me once that the market is constantly telling you stuff. The market is constantly screaming at you. But if you're not paying attention, you're not going to hear what the market is saying. Guess what? If you don't hear what the market is saying, then you're not going to be able to adapt, to be able to meet the needs of the market, gain the trust of the market, gain the confidence of the market, and be able to get value from the market. So I just wanted to say that as well. So let's. I've got a few more questions for you, Nancy. Are you there?
I'm
All
here.
right,
Yeah.
great. Okay, so I see you. So beyond systems, tell me now. Let's get a bit personal, right? Tell me about when you started developing systems for your business. Tell me about when you started developing systems for your business.
Intentionally, it was 5 years ago. And what drove me there, if there's anything my friends would tell me, they say Nancy understands money maths very well. She does not understand mathematics, so but bring money and bring maths inside it. Nancy will do it very
It
well for
looks
you.
like there's a bit of delay.
So is it clear now? If you can hear me, please
Mm.
let me know in the chat. Okay, it's clear. Good. So 5 years ago, I sat with my business and I saw that I only had new business based on referrals.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead.
And I was like, what? So if nobody is in a good mood to talk about what Nancy has done, I do not make money. And that woke me up. That literally woke me up. Um, just working with referrals is not a bad business model, but it's not a sustainable business model. I wanted to scale. So I went back to understanding what I needed to do. The businesses that are doing what I want to do and succeeding at it, what were they doing? So it led me first to building my lead generation to run on autopilot. And for 1 full year, all I was very focused on, I wasn't building this system and that system. I sat with my lead generation. I began to track month by month where were my leads coming from. Now, where were my quality leads coming from? Leads general, quality leads second, and then the leads that converted the most, where were they coming from? Then the leads that converted to my highest paying offer, where were they coming from? So it was just one aspect of the business, but it took me a full year to figure it out. And when I understood it, I built an automated process. Yes, it's an engine you have to feed with content, um, pumping ads
Mm.
here and there from time to time, but it did not require or it did not depend solely on when another human felt like talking about my business for me to make business, for me to have some good business. And that was the journey that led me here in this systems and strategy situation. And from then on, I could look at something
So
that
there
I've done.
appears to be a bit of delay on this end. I don't know what end it is, but for those of you in the comment, okay, go ahead.
So if I do something consistently, when I notice I've done this once, done it twice, done it thrice, the moment I do it the third time, I systemize it because I want to be able to hand it over to somebody else and they can run with it and do it exactly the way I would do it. So that's been my journey with systems. So anything that you've done twice, it's time to build a system around it so someone else can do it in your business.
Mm.
I think there's a lag.
Okay, so I want I was having a bit of break up from my end. The last bit of what you said was breaking. So can I have those that are joining us on YouTube and Facebook share? Let's know the last thing you heard. Let's know if you can hear us clearly, because trust me, all I'm hearing right now, you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. A lot going on. We're going to be wrapping up this conversation pretty soon because I promised all y'all that you could get to go what World Cup, but I still have a couple of questions, and hopefully, I want to push that in whilst we're here. Nancy, let's talk about. There's no way I'm going to have a conversation with you about productivity that I don't get to ask you questions about AI. All right. And I've been watching your videos. As a matter of fact, we wanted to get some of your videos to play on today. But, we'll make that happen at another time. But I want to talk to you about AI. Let's talk about AI and the future of productivity. Um, Bottom line is, from where you are, What's the real productivity advantage of AI?
Time. AI buys back time for you. So when I see people who are adverse to it, I don't understand it. AI will buy back time for you, time in your personal life, time in your business. Um, the job of AI is not to replace human beings, it is to enhance what human beings produce. I want you to change that outlook if you're listening to me today and you have that as a mindset. Oh, this is going to replace me. I'm not going to train something that will. No, 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 no. It is going to enhance what you do and do it in less time so you can do more. And there's AI for almost every industry. Hospitals, there are AI tools, AI agents, AI whatever to power what you do. Construction, production, transportation, any industry you can think about. You are a small business, big business, doesn't matter the size of your corporation. But if you are thinking of doing more in less time, I will recommend AI,
Mm,
AI in all of its totality, whether it's a system, it's an agent, is the ability to prompt properly, it's image generation, whatever you want to use it for. But just remember this word I'm saying today. If it does absolutely nothing else for you, it's going to buy back time for you. So much time.
mm. Too much time. So what's the misconception people have? I mean, what's the most hilarious misconception that you've gotten that people have about AI?
It's going to take their jobs. It's so funny. Like people, AI is about to take my job. I'm like, no. The humans who can use AI will take your job. They will take it. So the more you don't want to learn it and use it because it will take your job, tomorrow it's going to be a Nancy Ogboe sitting in your seat because you did not learn to use AI.
Mm,
It's not a if or now. It is competitive advantage. It's just like when
mm,
mobile phones came out and people were like, oh no, we have to keep the land phone. When you look at the features, when you look at how portable this thing is, it should tell you that this is the future. This is where the world is. So you get ahead of others. And that gives you mileage. Before people are catching up in your industry, you've gone far.
mm.
The earlier you start using it, the better. Find the specific ones. Now, don't go using it because people are today, everywhere you turn around, this AI prompts, no, 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 calm down. Go and do your research. In my industry, in my niche, in my business, in what I do, what are the top AI tools? You find them, you study them, you master them, and you finish work in our Nigerian lingo.
You
So don't
finish
let it
work.
list. Yes, please.
You finish work. All right, so we're gonna bring this to a close. I've had an amazing time with Nancy. Today is really a breach because of the World Cup. I mean, trust me, this conversation could go on and on. But now let's talk. Let's have some legacy conversations, which is really where I like to land in most of my, chats. So long time coming. You know, many people will look back and say, "Oh my God, Nancy just blew." Nancy just got on the platform. Nancy just got on the platform. But I can tell you guys for free, Nancy, it took some a decade and a half for Nancy to become an overnight success.
Yes.
Yeah, it took about a decade and a half for Nancy to become an overnight success, and that's something a lot of people don't understand. They don't get it. But that was then. Let's talk about what's to come. What would you like your legacy story to be like, Nancy?
Hmm. I met Nancy and I got the clarity,
Mm,
the permission, and audacity to pursue my dreams and my goals and achieve them.
I like the audacity part. I mean, the clarity part, yeah, given, but I like the audacity part because sometimes someone said to me once, the clarity scares me. So yes, you could have clarity, and I said that to say you could have clarity, but when you see what is called of you, when you see what you have to do, for some people, For some people, it inspires them, it propels them. For some people,
It paralyzes them.
it paralyzes. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. It paralyzes them, and we can't leave anybody behind. So I
Yeah.
want you to speak a bit about that audacity part for some seconds, if you will, before we shut this down.
And
The
thank you for
audacity. And what's the
that.
most audacious thing that you have done, Nancy?
Okay. So audacity is not being loud. I think that's a misconception with my
Mm,
generation and those after us. Audacity is not that you are the loudest in the room. Audacity is that you are the one who will go where others will not, do what others will not, to get the results you want for your life. Not illegal things. I'm talking about things that are very legal, but
oh yeah.
the size of it, the thought of it is mind blowing. So when it comes to audacity, there are two things I've seen. Some people need permission, not because anybody took it
Mm,
away from them, but because they've never seen anyone attempt what they're trying to do.
mm,
And the
mm.
permission they need is not, oh, you can go. Nobody was stopping them in the first place. They just need to see and hear someone say, you can do
You
this.
can, you can, right?
And that's
Mm,
why I will beg you who is listening, do not share your life goals, dreams, and ambition with people who are always pessimistic. If
mm,
Hilda Basi of Nigeria had told someone who could not dream that she wanted to cook jollof for the number of hours that she did it in that size of pot, what do you think the person would have said to her?
see,
So
waiting they
it,
worry you.
audacity is around you everywhere. Think, look, you would see. I was invited to the platform Nigeria this year in May.
Right.
What people did not know was that the speaker who was standing there was moving at a time when my school, where I finished my graduate degree from, the immigration department, and everybody said, do not travel. You might not come back to the United States. So I want
Mm,
to tie audacity to something else, and it is
mm,
knowing your God. Because the Bible says that they that know their God will be strong and do exploits. There has to
mm,
be a knowing. Many people take the last part and leave the first. You must know him. So when I got that response, when I was asking for my travel documents, and they said that, they gave me the documents and said, you are going on your own accord if you decide to go. We recommend that you do not go. My boxes were
wow.
packed. I was packing, buying stuff for my family. 5 days to go, the voices were still coming. I stood in front of the boxes and I said to God, I said, Father, in the name of Jesus, I don't care if you say pack up. You know me, I'll roll up these boxes, put it in the wardrobe, and I'll have a good time. So, Lord, I want
Mm,
to hear you clearly. I don't
mm.
want a misunderstanding. I want you to tell me what to do with this. And then he spoke and he was clear, showed me how I was going to come back, what was going to happen, what to avoid. I went on that trip and came back, and people started coming to me for a template on how to go to immigration so they can go home and see their families.
Say that again.
So you need to understand that sometimes God wants to make you a template, but he needs
Mm,
to work with your faith, because audacity is not noise, it's not shouting. You're going to do things that the people that know what you're doing will scream, but you get backing. So
yeah.
before you step out to do anything and say it's audacity, number one, mastery. I've spoken about it before. The
Yeah.
place they were calling me to come and speak, what they were calling me for, I knew it like I knew my name. Wake me up from sleep, I will talk to you about ideas.
Mm,
And then
mm.
secondly, I know my God. So when I heard him
Very
clearly.
important.
I packed my bag. There were people that did not know, because I know if I told them I was going, they would say, don't go. They saw me on platform on DD. They were watching platform normally. They saw me. When I came down, my phone was buzzing. Nancy, what did you do? And they love me. Guess what? They love me. Oh, they're not my haters. They love
Yeah. But,
audacity.
but but their mind, but they couldn't wrap their minds around it.
Oh
You know,
no.
they couldn't wrap their minds around it. You
Mhm.
think about it and you say, I say to people all the time, really, I say, this thing about audacity. When you have audacity, it releases a certain level of joy to you. Now,
Yes.
the question has always been, do you have joy before you have audacity, or do you have audacity to have joy? And I said, look, both of them go hand in hand. And why do I say that? Just a bounce off what you said. I say to people all the time, joy is not a feeling. No, it's not. Joy is a knowing. Joy is
Mm.
a knowing of who is, who you are, and whose you are. That's what
Yeah.
joy is. Joy is a knowing, knowing that the one that has you will never leave you nor forsake you. Joy is knowing that he's got your back, even when it doesn't make sense. That's what joy
Yes.
is. It's not a feeling, it's a knowing. Yes, the feeling is an expression of the knowing, but it all starts from a knowing. The great exploits that you do, it starts from a knowing,
No way.
and that's what you've so aptly said. That's what you so aptly said. And my mind is blown. I am, in fact, I wish I could just do some, speak in tongues a bit and hold that walk up by 30 more minutes so that we could go.
Please
But
allow me
I
to go and
can.
watch
There's a
the
whole
final game.
world. There's a whole world waiting to watch the final game, and I made a promise earlier that I was going to release it on time so that everybody could, get to say. I think this has been an amazing conversation, Nancy. I have, first of all, I was not in doubt to the quality of what we'll be getting today. I was not in any way in doubt with regards to that. Secondly, I've been in many ways immensely blown away by some of the things that you said, and I want us to just quickly, I want to squeeze in one more thing, right? So we talked about SOPs, we talked about systems. I want us to go back to something else that was mentioned: frameworks. Frameworks, and frameworks are so important for me as a consultant. My whole life is about frameworks. I want to talk about frameworks for about a minute or two. I need somebody, I feel strongly that somebody out there needs to get this, needs to understand this, needs to be able to build frameworks around what they do, and then their systems will work. So I want you to talk about frameworks for a little while, Nancy.
When you mentioned the Casper framework from Fela, I need you to know that I'm going to look it up. Of course, you know me. Once I leave this call, I wrote it down. I'm going to look it up.
you,
Please, like,
you absolutely have. I've been speaking about it for a very year. You absolutely have to look it up. Every
so
time Ian and I are talking, it's the center of everything that we talk about. Please go ahead, Nancy.
now I want to share this for anyone who is listening. Before you go buy frameworks, you already have frameworks. You don't just know you have them. Now, let me explain. The success you have in your life, how did you achieve them methodologically, right?
Yeah.
How, what are the methods that you used to achieve the success in your life right now?
Hmm.
When you are a farmer, you harvested the crop. How did you store it? What was the mode of
Hmm.
transportation? When it was time to take it for processing, how many hours did it stay in the processor? When you brought it out, did you allow it to cool off before you packaged it? How long did you let it cool off? When you package it, did you use silicone packaging, nylon? And when you use silicone or nylon, what is the shelf life? That is a framework.
Hmm.
You just have not paid attention to what is working for you. And that is why you always pay Nancy money, because Nancy pays attention. Anybody you call a coach that has results, you are not paying them for what they know. You know it too. You are paying them for the attention they paid to the processes that brought them different results from doing what you already know how to do. I have a framework for every client that wants lead generation. I call it the VNC framework. How did I arrive at it? I looked at about 20 clients I have worked with, and I saw that the first thing we always do after the clarity and all of that is we make them we work on visibility systems. So V. After visibility, what's the next thing we do? We move to N, which is what? We start nurturing the people who have found them through visibility. When we are done nurturing, where does it lead us? To conversion. So I began to build visibility systems, nurturing systems, before I start talking about conversion systems. So when a client comes to me and wants to jump these two steps to land at conversion, I will not take you because we're not a good fit. But I needed to understand how I got the result I got. The people I worked with that avoided either of this, we did not have conversion. So sit with your, before you pay any other person money, you can come and pay me, I'll figure it out for you. You know, but if you can, sit down. The frameworks that would propel you forward. If you're doing 10 million now, you can do 100 million. You just need to look at what is working and look at your numbers because they never lie. Hey, I can't hear you. I just stopped hearing you. Is your mic off? No, I can't hear you. I'm seeing your lips. I'm reading your lips, but I can't hear you. Okay. Can you guys hear him? I can hear. No, I can't hear. I see your hand. I can't hear. Okay. People on Facebook cannot hear as well. Okay. So I believe he's gonna join us again and his sound will be fixed. Thank you so much everyone for being here. I'm so excited that you all came out this evening and we've had such great conversation. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I see Area Mela in the chat. Nope, we still can't hear you. Yeah, sorry. Unmute. Are you muted? Did you open a tab? Did you open a video tab, football tab, something? Do you have a Bluetooth connected? Maybe your sound transferred to another device? You have a video? We just lost the sound. No, no. Thank you guys. No, I can't hear you. Okay, so AU, I'm gonna walk through this with you. Thank you very much. 6 years, congratulations. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Whatever the sound is, we know you got value from this conversation and it was incredible. Thank you for being such amazing guest. AU, thank you for being such a great host as always. Looking forward to speaking after the match is over. Have a good night and thank you. Thank you so much. See you guys next week on the Connect. Bye.